Greetings and salutations, boys and girls. It's Danny here, aka the Music Hermit, back with another guitar video for you all. Today we are talking about octaves, more specifically how you can use octaves to navigate your way around the fretboard more easily and effectively. Let's take a look. So in this video, I don't want to get too much into the theory behind octaves, but I will be talking about octaves as they relate to guitar. So in part 1, I spoke about different tricks and techniques that you can use to identify notes on the fretboard more quickly. Today we'll be talking about octaves because octaves can be very useful tools to name and identify notes on the fretboard more easily. So let's take a real life example and use a G on the 3rd fret of the low E string. It's your G. If I wanted to find the octave of that G, so the next G, what would I do? Well, one way to do it is to use the trick we discovered in part 1, which is the 12th fret trick. So you know that if that's an E, that's an E, 12th fret. So the 15th fret is a G, right? 12 plus 3. E, F, F sharp, G. Now, this is the octave, but you can't really do much with it in terms of playing. It's a bit too far, okay? So what do? We can find the corresponding G, but somewhere closer to our initial finger here. So that ends up being this G right here, which is on the 5th fret, not sure, hopefully you can see it clearly, which is on the 5th fret of the D string. So, that's a G, that's also a G. It's an octave higher, but it's also a G. Now at this point, let me re-emphasize why we're skipping a string in this case. It's because of the way the guitar works, okay? If we take the original G example, that's a G, that's a G. If I want to find that G on the A string, that G is going to end up being here on the 10th fret. That's still quite a gap to go like this and play at the same time, or play it without a big gap rather. Where can that G also be played? It can be played here. Let's use the way the guitar is built, where you can have the same note in different places to our advantage. So, low G, high G, low G, high G. That's an octave and it's easily playable. That's why there is a string in between that we don't play in this case, okay? Let's carry on. So between the E and the D string, whenever you play this kind of pattern, where you have an empty fret in between the notes, that is an octave. So we're skipping a string, we're skipping a fret, that makes an octave between the E and the D string. So any note that you can identify on the low E string, you can now identify its corresponding octave on the D string. Let's take another note. Let's take this B flat right here, which is on the 6th fret of the low E string. If I had to find the octave to that, therefore find another B flat, alright? That B flat would be here on the 8th fret of the D string. Why? Because I went 6, 2 frets up with a fret in between, 2 strings down. 2 frets up, 2 strings down. So between the E and the D string, the formula is plus 2 frets plus 2 strings equals the same note. Not by the same note, I mean the same note name, because it's an octave apart. So it's not the same frequency, but it's an octave apart. Now let's see if this holds up for the next string, so the A string. Let's take a C on the 3rd fret of the A string. If I had to apply the same formula, so plus 2 frets plus 2 strings, yes, it does work. That is also a C. So the 5th fret on the G string is also a C. Therefore, if I know any note on the A string now, I can quickly and easily identify the note on the G string as well. Again, keep in mind when I say the same note, I mean the same note name, not the same note frequency, okay? So for example, if that's an F, because I know that's an F, then the F on the G string would be on the 10th fret. Wicked. So far, plus 2 frets plus 2 strings work. Let's look at the next set of strings now, between the D and the B strings. If I take this F and I apply +2, +2, oof, no, that's not an octave, that's actually a major seventh interval. We need one more to make it into an octave. Alright, now that's an octave. So between the D and the B string, because of the way, the guitar is set up, the octave is going to be +3 frets +2 strings. So if that's an F on the 3rd fret of the D string, then the corresponding note, an octave above, is going to be 3 frets up, 2 strings down, F and F. So now if I know any note on the D string, I can quickly and easily identify the corresponding note of the same name on the B string. Therefore the 3rd fret of the D string is an F, the 6th fret of the B string is also an F because of octaves. Let's look at the last pair of strings between the G and the E. Now, between the G and the E, let's apply what we just applied to the B and the D. B flat, that's a B flat, +3 frets +2 strings, gives me B flat, so it works as well. Wicked, so now we have a pattern. The formula for E to D string is +2 frets +2 strings, so G, 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 G. Same for the A and the G strings, C, 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 C. For the D and the B string, it's +3 frets +2 strings, so F, 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 F. For the G and the E strings, it's again +3 frets +2 strings, so B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat. Now a great exercise that you can do, which is going to help you technically because you'll be practicing string skipping and things like that, but it will also help you to learn and unlock the fretboard more easily, is to just pick a particular fret on the guitar, for example the 3rd fret that we've just been working on, and just go through all the octaves on that fret. So what you do is you start with the low E, which in this case that's a G because it's the 3rd fret, and you play the corresponding octave, G, 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 G. You can pick it, you can use finger picking, you can turn it into a bit of an exercise, okay, which I'll show you in a bit. Same for the C, 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 C. Same for the F, 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 F. Same for the B flat. Okay, then we run out of space because if we go to the B string, we can't skip a string to find the next octave, okay? How can you turn this into an exercise? So you're not only using it to unlock the fretboard and identify notes more easily, you're also using it as a technique exercise. One of the things you can do is to just simply pick each note 4 times, or each combination 4 times rather, and then skip to the next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and back up, 1, 2. I'm using alternate picking, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Great exercise for your picking, for your coordination, stamina, etc, etc. Another great way you can use this exercise is to use, for example, play each note twice and do 1. So you're doing down, up on the low E, down, up on the D, using octaves. So G, 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 C, 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 F, 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 B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, and then go back up. You can use triplets, so and go back up the way you came down. You can use 16 notes, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a... Okay, and back up. The combination is really limitless. You can go down one particular set of octaves and up the next. So for example, you can do down the 3rd fret and then going back up the 5th fret, right? So you're practicing the octaves of the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. So I would encourage you, whenever you're playing any of these exercises, to say the note's name out loud. This is what's going to really help you to learn the notes on the fretboard. Hopefully you can see how powerful this is, because usually, because of chords and things like that, people tend to learn the notes on the lower strings quicker than the ones on the higher strings. But now, with this relationship that we've established, this pattern-based relationship between different strings, you'll be able to identify notes on different strings using their corresponding octave partner, if you like. Okay, so that's it from me for today, guys. I hope this has helped you out. If you have any questions or need any clarifications, please let me know in the comment section. Like the video and subscribe to my channel, because I've got a lot of content coming up that is going to help you guys out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.